After 7 exciting competitions, the final spots in the Premier Series finals are about to be clinched. From True Function Ninja Training Ground and our train ride west of London, this is the World Ninja League Premier Series. Hello everybody, I'm Alex Cunningham alongside Jack Anderson. Jack, we've seen a very different kind of course designed by Dion and Millie. The amateurs and teens kind of took it to task, but it's going to be a lot harder for these elites.
That's absolutely right, Alex. We're always looking to push our elite level ninjas, and Dion and Millie have not disappointed so far. We've seen both the placement course and the challenge course be a bit of a speed format, so it will be interesting to see coming into today how they're going to fare. But of course, we're going to take a quick look at the athletes who have already qualified for our Premier Series finals, coming to you all in New York in November 17th to November 19th. It's going to be incredibly exciting. We can see Jay Lewis, Lucas Reale, Josiah Papel, and the list goes on, Alex.
Including our defending world champion and the only man ever to defeat all 3 stages in the elite division at the WNL Tier 1 Championships, Tyler Smith. And over on the women's side, we have another defending champion, Addie Herman, the 2-time champion before her, Isabella Wakeham, along with the former teen champion, Madeline Medeiros, and 2-time World's Strongest Ninja, Abby Clark.
That's absolutely right, Alex. And if we move into the format that the challengers today are going to be facing, well, I'm really excited to see European athletes be added to this list, Alex, and hopefully we can see them onto that today. So we're going to hopefully we're going to pull up here the format for today. We can see that we both have a placement course today and a challenge course. And it's important for all the new viewers here to understand this format. So of course, for the placement course, it's a shorter course. It follows that traditional format where as soon as you fall, your run will be over. And that order on that placement course will determine your run order for the challenge course. And this is where we really get into the business end of the equation. You have a maximum of 2 retries for the entire course. You can only use 1 retry per obstacle. That's really important to keep in mind. And if you run out of retries, your run is over. It's a longer course. It has an intensive time format. And Alex, what we're really trying to get to is the top 4 ninjas from True Function Ninja here today that we want to take through to the Premier Series finals.
Absolutely right. And on that challenge course, we've seen a lot of the younger athletes who aren't familiar with this format because it is brand new to these European athletes, walk off the course after 1 fail, and Dion's had to ring him back in and be like, listen, you still have another fail. Get back out there. Go crush it some more.
That's exactly right. And it's worth noting that from time to time, we'll see athletes fall once or maybe even twice during these challenge courses and still go on to win the entire thing. So anything is up for grabs here today. I believe that we have 6 elite males and 3 elite females here today. So it's going to be incredibly exciting. We have a hugely stacked lineup. And there's 2 particular competitors that we've had our eyes on this whole weekend, Alex.
Actually, it looks like we have a 4th elite female joining the fray. That's exciting.
That is very good.
But some very talented names on this list. I have to double check. Did Victor get pulled from that run order? Because we've been hyping up Victor all weekend long, and he doesn't appear to be on the run order.
I'm sure he'll be in there.
Swerve.
Yeah, apparently he's later in the run order here today because we do have a numerous number of competitors. But of course, we have been hyping these individuals up all weekend. And it's really exciting to see all these elite level ninjas in action on perhaps the toughest course that we've seen so far, which is going to be really exciting for our final Premier Series finals here.
Well, while we're figuring out about Victor, I want to hype up this female division. Those of you who are familiar with the international scene may be familiar with Beth Lodge, widely considered to be the top UK female ninja, and she has proven it on a number of occasions in competitions, both on and off television. She participated in the World Championship back in Season 3 But this is the first time that a lot of these viewers have seen her in a WNL setting in a very long time.
That is absolutely right, Alex. And it's really cool to see that we have 4 elite females here. Of course, they will all technically be in contention for receiving a spot in the Premier Series finals. And I'm sure all these individuals are going to be going for that. But it's important to remember that for the challenge course, they still will need to complete the first 3 obstacles in order to secure their spot. For this weekend, it hasn't been an issue for any of our smaller divisions. But for the male elites, they're definitely going to have to fight it out for those top 4 spots.
All right, we do have Victor back on the run order. That's exciting to see. So now we can send it over to our video package, hyping up the Ninja Sculptor, Victor Mikhailov. We've seen this course kind of become a speed course for some of the other divisions. Now the challenge course is significantly harder. It's going to be a lot more intense on the upper body and the grip, but Victor Mikhailov, as you can see, turns a lot of courses into speed courses. We will see if he is able to take Dion's course to task.
Well, that is very true. Speed is going to be key for him. And he makes everything look easy, to be truthful. And I'm hoping that he's going to absolutely crush it here. But of course, we have in contention Hollis Lanford. Again, another phenomenal ninja. He knows tech like no tomorrow, Alex.
Yeah, he might have taken going out on throwback at the World Championship a little personally, because he trains kind of in that American style. A lot of explosive laches, a lot of technical movements. You can see there, trains very frequently out of his backyard rig. And he definitely has the upper body strength to be able to tackle some of the harder obstacles on this course.
That is absolutely right. It's going to be a huge matchup between these 2 individuals here. And we can just see the stats. There's almost nothing separating them except for a little bit of difference in the generating swing category. They're going to be fighting out for that top spot.
And that being said, there are still 5 other men in that division that are going to be looking to take the top spot. We've seen that happen a couple of times where we've hyped up certain athletes and then somebody comes out of nowhere and beats them all. Trevor West at Austin is the first example I can think of, at least in the elite males. But people have surprised us. So if you're a Thomas Matthews, Arn Poling, Ole Yannick, Nicholas Underwood, and Alexandra Kaleka, I believe that last name rings a bell from the French ninja scene. This is definitely your opportunity to put your name on the map.
Yeah, I've been told that Thomas Matthews is one to watch, that he's up there with Hollis Lanford and Victor. So it's going to be exciting. We've been told to watch him, so let's put our faith in him as well. But in the elite male division, almost anything can happen, just as with the elite females. They're all in phenomenal shape. They're all phenomenal competitors. And we're going to gear up with our first competitor, Rebecca Neal.
All right, let's get this party started. Rebecca is underway. Taking it a little cautiously, but that's okay. 45 seconds doesn't give you a lot of time, but you don't want to fall early and lose out on a good challenge course placement.
Goes by the name Becky. Rebecca Neal is going through this course well, Alex, but it's really important to keep in mind that with 45 seconds on the clock, she's going to have to really push it here. This was something that we saw in the other divisions, people struggling with, this time barrier, and now just on the unstable beam, struggling to get that correct momentum for that dismount here.
Yeah, unfortunately, Becky went for the shimmy technique, and with that unstable movement, you really want to make your forwards moves as the beam is going forward. If you make them as they go backwards, you're going to lose a lot of the momentum of the beam, which you can use to your advantage to get to the finish platform easier. But as we can see here, she was able to reel it in and at least completed 4 obstacles before her time limit expired.
Yeah, that's going to conclude her run there as we move through the elite females here. Shyla Duhaney, is going to be our next competitor here. And yeah, this 45-second time limit is tough. But hopefully Shyla is tough enough to make it through. Age 34, coming out of the UK here. Hopefully is trained out of True Function, and we'll see how she goes.
Looks like she is representing Rumble Racing. I assume that is some sort of OCR team.
Absolutely. And it's interesting that they're now using ropes on this obstacle. It can both be easier but also cost time They are difficult to maneuver if you're not comfortable on them.
Yeah, and
Charlotte's struggling to find a footing there.
You can get twisted up like that on those ropes as well. Let's see if Shyla has learned from great power and gets out of there. I was a little bit worried because the beam wasn't moving much, but she was able to get out of there and is flying through these boards. She only has 5 seconds, and she grabbed the wrong side of that third board. That is going to be her undone. However, that should be faster to that obstacle than Becky.
And it does look like she will be. It's going to be tough there. We're going to have to see hopefully the last two competitors onto those later obstacles. There's definitely potential here coming into these last two competitors, as of course we have Bethany Lodge and Gianna Webb. This could be strong here, and I'm hoping that we can see a finish.
Yeah, Beth Lodge, 29. I believe she works in the medical imaging field.
Okay, well, let's see how she navigates this
one of the very top European female ninjas. I said really anywhere outside of the U.S. you could rank her, Steffi Edelman, and Olivia Vivian in any order in the top 3, and I'd accept it, and that is great company.
Yeah, Bethany Lodge is showing us why she's a veteran, coming in here with 23 seconds onto the floating boards. This has potential for a completion if she can fly through these boards, which she is doing accordingly.
Yeah, she's
to get the dismount here.
Got a great time here. Got to swing off of that cannonball. Reaches it. Balance pipe to go. 7 seconds. It's going to be close. Gets through. Can she get up the warp wall in time? I don't think she did. Just running out of time. A heartbreaker for Beth Lodge. Nevertheless, puts her emphatically into first place.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough run to beat, and it goes to show just how difficult this 45-second time limit is going to be. Beth just by the whiskers, just missing out there, but can be really happy with that run, and hopefully that's going to hold her in the top spot.
Well, Beth has been competing at such a high level here in the UK. It's great to see her back on the international stage. She does have some work to do to qualify for finals. We mentioned 3 obstacles in the challenge course. And those 3 obstacles, we'll talk about them later, but they have been significantly buffed. But in the meantime, we're going to see our youngest elite female competitor here in this division, Gianna Webb, 21 out of Littlemore.
Absolutely, rocking the Looney Tunes outfit. Love to see it as she now moves her way through the second obstacle, struggling to get the momentum here.
Yeah, she can go back and reset maybe, but unfortunately this is what I not so endearingly call no women's land. Although she is able to get back to the platform, I guess this is a little bit ascending maybe, and the second time she gets a much better push.
But Alex, if we look at the clock here, there's 15 seconds to go, and it's going to be a near impossible feat to be able to catch up to some of these other competitors who made it through the first 4 obstacles with more time on the clock. So Gianna
we'll
is going to
see
be
if she's even
to
able to get out of the unstable I-beam. Looks like she was given credit for that. I think we'll have to take that off the board as she did not cross the finished platform. Taking one more look at Gianna's run.
Yeah, and look, it's probably not in Gianna's favor there. That second obstacle really got the better of her. Just a little bit unlucky, to be truthful. But I know that she's going to be able to pull it back in the challenge course, which is where all the marbles are. That's where it really matters. But we can see there, we're getting an indication of our run order. Whilst if you just flip the order, that is the order in which they'll be running. So Gianna Webb will be first, followed by Rebecca Neal, Shyla Duhani, and then Beth Lodge, of course, a phenomenal athlete, one that has been hyped up all over the weekend.
That will be a lot of fun to watch, but so will the elite men on this placement course. We didn't see any buzzers in the female division as we see Gianna Webb's score being updated, unable to complete that unstable I-beam. You do have to fully cross the front plane of each finished platform in the World Ninja League. And a lot of what the World Ninja League is doing is trying to standardize the rules across the world. We do call it the World Ninja League for a reason. All right, I'm going to stop talking. Hollis Lansford. You can see the Extreme Ninja shirt. That's out of Switzerland. So he is a world traveler, came to the Tier 1 championships, and he's skipping the propeller. You can see why we hyped him up all weekend long.
He's the first elite male stepping up to this division
Oh my
so far.
gosh.
He's not just going for
One
a finish,
swing.
Alex. He's going for a top time. This is going to be a phenomenal division, and Hollis is setting the standard here.
Well, on to
racing
the
through.
balance pipe. Needs to be careful. Does hit that finish platform and
Wow.
gets the buzzer. A tremendous time, 31 seconds. That has got to be the fastest time we've seen all weekend.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. And what scares me, Alex, is that is the first elite male out of 7 competitors. So it's going to be a feared division, and it's going to be full on because now they know what they need to be. I love that Hollis being the first in, just already doing beta breaks, just skipping parts of obstacles. It's what our elites are known for.
Well, we will see Hollis presumably running very late in the challenge course, but we still have 6 very talented athletes behind him, including this next athlete, Thomas Matthews. Caden Casillas, who commentated on Saturday and this morning as well, tipped us off about this young man, 23 years old, out of Bristol. Says he's right up there with Hollis. We'll see if he can put that to the test, and no surprise, he also skips the propeller.
Yeah, he's showing us that he's potentially even going faster.
Yeah, he's actually being a little bit sloppy. He needs to
be.
be careful.
He is, but he's picking it back up, Alex. He's making it work. He's working through the mess as he now comes onto the balance pipes, arguably going even faster.
Oh, wow,
than
this is going to be faster.
He just rammed his shoulder into
24
the side
seconds.
of the wall.
That's up there with the fastest times we've ever seen.
We have to acknowledge that he just completed 6 obstacles in an insane time. He flew through that course. That is unfair. We're going to get a quick replay of that here. Blink and you will miss him. A phenomenal run here by Thomas Matthews. I guess we were glad that Kane did tip us off about this phenomenal young man, because he is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
That run was a lot of fun to watch. Hopefully he slows it down a little bit on the challenge course. It is going to be very upper body intensive compared to previous divisions.
Well, we have some big shoes to fill now. We said that Hollis Lansford's time would be competitive, but now we don't know if that's going to be the case.
Aaron Pullen is going to be our next athlete, 28, out of Stevenson in Oxfordshire. Don't ask me where any of these places are. I'm a dirty American.
I wonder what's going through his head after seeing Hollis and Thomas both just crush that course here. It doesn't look like he's going to go for the skip, but he's still making good pace so far.
Yeah, he's really running his own game here. That's quite all right. You don't want to fail an early obstacle because you're trying to chase down times. Although, great move there out on the unstable I-beam. He's through and onto the floating boards.
Absolutely. He's not necessarily moving through with the same pace, but he is moving through with great technique. And what that displays is he's going to be great on the challenge course. Let's see if he can get the finish here. Moving through well on the balance pipes. And are we going to see a complete clear rate from all of these elite males? This is phenomenal.
It's possible. We're 3 for 3 so far. I don't want to commentators curse anyone, but Aaron Pullen really slow and steady won that race. 39 seconds, still a fast time.
Yeah, I love how we're calling that slow and steady. It's just when you compare it in the context of the 2 that came before him. Regardless, a really phenomenal run there, Alex, and a great display of technique. So I'm going to be really excited to see him on the later course. I think he's going to be a very underrated competitor and one that we can expect to see go really far.
Definitely looking forward to watching these athletes on the challenge course, but we still have 4 more on the placement course to go. And these runs are going to be really critical because if you don't find yourself in that last 4, you're going to have no idea what you need to do to claim one of the last 4 Premier Series final slots. And we have a German competitor, Ole Janik, out of Berlin.
We have seen a few German competitors this weekend. We love to see them show up in full force, and for Ole to be jumping into the
Oh no, he went too fast!
Oh no!
And that is exactly what we were talking about during Aaron's run. You don't want to go too fast and make a mistake because now he's going to finish behind all of the finishers of this course. And at this point, if you're going to go slow and steady and win the race, you're going to be able to see what Ole does on the challenge course.
It's worth noting that if we look at the timing system there, he completed the first 4 obstacles in 9.4 seconds.
That's ridiculous.
That's basically per obstacle, just a little bit over 2 seconds per obstacle. That to me doesn't make sense. He's going to be one to watch. Make no mistake. He's going to throw down a great time as we move into Nicholas Underwood. This is proving to be a speed course. And let's see what approach Nicholas takes as he gears up his assault. Following the skips, it is definitely the meta at this point. Set by Hollis Lansford.
Well, he is making quick work and jumps out to the second board. We haven't seen that yet. I'm not sure I like that technique, but it's working for him.
Yeah, whatever gets you through it at the end of the day, it's risky. Yannick.
And that is going to be faster than Aaron. Not as fast as Hollis, but 33.99, getting that sub 34 just barely. Good work, Nicholas.
Okay.
On any other day, that is a phenomenal run. He would have capped out every single other division and set the fastest time we've seen. But unfortunately, when you're in this elite division, it demands something phenomenal. Nicholas is definitely still going to be one to watch, though, coming into the challenge course later today. Alex, this is scary how fast people are going.
I was actually a bit worried for him. He kind of did a somersault over the warped wall and might have landed on his back, but he appears to be just fine. And we will see the Swindon native on the challenge course in a pretty good position. But coming up next, the ninja sculptor, Viktor Mikhailov, currently living in Liverpool. He's lived in Russia and Germany as well.
This is going to be a run where if you blink, you will miss it. Viktor Mikhailov is a phenomenal competitor.
Oh my
He
gosh,
is not only fast, but he's powerful.
He beat the first 4 obstacles in 8 seconds, Jack.
Alex, he's got to slow down, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't know how to. This is a phenomenal run here. This could be the
challenging
fastest time
Thomas Matthews' fastest time. We'll see if he beat it. I think he might have fumbled with the touch point there. And 25 seconds somehow is slower than Thomas. I have no idea how somebody can beat that, and I've already seen the run that did.
I loved the intensity in which Viktor attacked that course. He was focused from the start, and just a few little slip-ups from here and there. I love that I'm calling them slip-ups, but just a few little inefficiencies there cost him that top spot, but he is gladly going to be in second place.
Just gives a shrug.
He's not. Yeah, he's like, that's all right.
Yeah.
25.
I mean, the good news for him is he's going to see what Hollis puts up to see if this challenge course becomes a speed course like it's been all day today, or if he can take it slow and steady to claim one of those last 4 spots.
And now we have a French competitor we love to see France stepping up into the elite division. Alexandre Kaleka is now stepping up as one of our last seeded competitors here, and he is showing why. Flying through this course, 10 seconds in, 5 obstacles down, and a big skip there, Alex. This could be the fastest through the floating boards.
Well, he needs to hurry up if he's going to get sub 25. Represented France at the Tier 1 Championships.
Oh, no!
Well, they didn't have a warped wall there. He's going to have to take a second attempt, and that's going to cost him several positions.
Oh,
maybe
no,
even more
Alex,
if he's
it's
unable to get up it.
The 15-foot warped wall is crushing for our competitors here today.
Oh, no.
He's just run out of gas.
I wonder if it's gas or maybe the shoes. It looks like he slipped a little bit there at the end. A tough break for Alex. He's going to run second in the challenge course for the men, and looking to be our only French representative in the elite division. He's going to have some work to do on the challenge course.
Absolutely. We have seen a surprising run order. I guess you can't really guess it at this point, just as you won't be able to guess the challenge course run order. But we can now see Ole Yannick up in first place. He's going to be the first person to step up onto the challenge course. And, of course, Thomas Matthews taking out the very top spot with a 24.3. I don't even think we came to understand how special that was until we saw what Viktor Mikhailov was getting.
Can we see Thomas's run again? Because he kind of looked like a bull in a china shop for the first couple of obstacles, and then just something took over, and he went Usain Bolt style on the rest of this course.
Absolutely. Just one of the most phenomenal competitors. He wasn't included in our title card lineup, but boy oh boy, we'll have to add him next time. He is phenomenal. Just the speed at which he was attacking this course is it's one to watch. Just ramming his shoulder into the side there. The dedication of this man.
Hopefully he's okay. It doesn't look like he hurt his shoulder at all. But I want to also point out on the women's side, we had some very solid runs, including Beth Lodge, who just narrowly missed out on a full clear of the placement course. A tremendous run by her that I'd like to take a second look at.
Absolutely. Just coming short, as you just mentioned there. Moving through the course with great technique, showing us why she's one of the best in the world at the moment, and just coming short by half a second.
A tough break for her, but she will be going last among her fellow female competitors, and we will see, first of all, if she's able to beat 3 obstacles, but second, if she's able to use that last spot to her advantage and claim the win in the final elite female qualifier of the Premier Series season. This is it for us. We're going straight to the Premier Series finals 4 weeks from now after this.
That's absolutely right, Alex. And before we take a quick break and head to the sponsors, I'd just love to look one more time at Hollis Lansford's run. I mean, when you think about it, he was the first competitor up. Of course, he's one we've been watching all weekend, hyping him up. But, you know, to go first in this run order and to throw down a 31.03, I think he would have had more in the tank had he known what he needed to get to.
Yeah, I mean, he probably thought when he finished this course, 31 was going to be among the top times. I know we did. And then it got beaten by
Absolutely.
7 seconds on the next run, which is just absurd to think about. In any event, he is going to be one of the favorites to watch on the challenge course, along with both Victor and Thomas. Not to discredit any of our other competitors as well. They are definitely strong and capable of deep runs.
Well, we're looking for a top 4 here, and we can see that there's not too much separating the top 4. Aaron Pullen, of course, another one to watch there. And I think Ole Yannick is also going to be one to watch because, I mean, he came out early, but he was flying through that course.
Yeah, just an unfortunate slip up going a little bit too fast on the floating boards. We'll see if he can slow it down a little bit on the challenge course. But at this point, I think it's time to shout out some of the organizations that make Premier Series possible, including NinjaWorks, who is powering Premier Series, the ultimate in ninja timing systems. They've got clocks, they've got buzzers, they've got lights, they've got the little thing you punch with the buttons to say that somebody clears the obstacle. I don't know what it's called. Clicker something. They've got it all. If you want anything ninja timing related, go to ninjaworks.com and they'll hook you up.
That's absolutely right, Alex. We owe so much to NinjaWorks over the years. And now we're going to play a video, one of my favorite advertisements from Slap Chalks.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my chalk bag? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slap chalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in the mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slap trucks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women of diverse backgrounds. I'm Joseph Rao, Ninja Warrior, rock climber, and the CEO of Slap Chalks.
Our thanks to Joseph and Slap Chalks. But we also want to thank DGS Ninja. They have been the official obstacle supplier of the WNL Tier 1 Championships, coming up on 6 years running. They were with us for the very first year of the Combined World Championships in Hartford, and they have been with us 3 years in Greensboro, as well as making some cool holds for the center court, the quote-unquote COVID year. But we have a great continuing partnership with DGS that we're excited to continue for year number 6. They also sponsor our defending WNL champion, Addie Herman. She will be at Premier Series Finals. We hope you will too, but in the meantime, if you want to get training on some of the best ninja obstacles, go to dgsninja.com.
That's absolutely right, Alex. And we have one more incredible young man we want to pay a nod to. Enzo, one of the ninjas who will be joining us in the Premier Series Finals, has a message in relation to his little startup, Ocean needs everyone.
Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, CO and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
I'm not sure you can categorize them as a little startup. Enzo's been doing a lot of great work to clean up the environment and definitely giving everybody at home a good message. So we're happy to share his enthusiasm about cleaning up the ocean as we take a look at the run order for the challenge course coming up next.
Yeah, we can see here that from that placement course, we're able to now determine who will be running first in our challenge course. We've got Gianna Webb for the elite females, and then we've got Olli Janek from Germany for the elite males. And of course, they're going to have the tough task, Alex, of having to show everyone else how it's done.
It is going to be a lot of fun for sure. We're going to have the women up first. Time limit's been about 3.5 minutes. The athletes have not needed anywhere near that. We saw Jack Andrews clear in about, like a minute 10 in the amateurs, but this is a lot different challenge course from the one they've had.
That's exactly right, Alex. And as we can see, what we've been building up to over the last 8 to 10 weeks is all going to be happening in our Premier Series finals happening in Fair Oaks, Brooklyn, New York from November 17th to November 19th. It is going to be the best of the best. You know, all of these qualifiers, Alex, have brought together the top 25% of ninjas from across every country, but this is the top 32 in every single division from across the world. The individuals that we've been searching for and hand selecting are all going to be coming together during this time, and we're going to be figuring out who is the best of the best of the best. And I'm so excited to see that happen.
It is going to be so much fun. And we're going to take a look here at the updated finals graphic. We added on the folks at Life Force Ninja that qualified, and we already have some international representation, not only in Australia, but also in Canada. 3 of the 4 qualifying spots, in fact, the entire podium, taken up by Canadians at Life Force.
Yeah, when I just look at that elite division list, particularly, you look at Silas Schneider, Kai Diol, Evan Laverly, you think about how they had to fight tooth and nail to find their spots into this lineup. It's truthfully hard to even fathom what we're looking at here. Just the biggest names in the sport all coming together for one incredible tournament. And I'm super excited to see all the Australians take to the stage as well. And of course, today we're going to be adding 4 European competitors, both in the elite females and elite males, hopefully.
I seem to remember that some of the Australians have registered. I think I saw like 6 or 7 across the divisions.
That's very exciting.
So hopefully we will get to see some in the elite division. Let them see what they're all about. Compete against the best of America and the best around the world. Hopefully we add some Europeans to that after today.
Well, we have plenty to work through here. I believe we're just taking a moment, but one thing that's worth noting before we kickstart into this challenge course, when we do, is that there's been multiple variations that have been made to this course. You can see a few different ones that have been made throughout, but it's of course, as we step into this elite division, we are going to be making it harder for our competitors. And it's going to be interesting for the elite females. They do have to complete the first 3 obstacles. The third obstacle and the second obstacle have been combined into a single one to make it more difficult and more demanding. So we'll see how they fare there.
And not only that, because of the 3 obstacle rule, the third obstacle is now those flywheels that we've seen a lot of competitors go out on. And they added falling X's and a flying squirrel to it. So a very long, difficult Lachey lane that these women are going to have to beat if they want to claim one of those spots in Brooklyn.
Yeah, no, the elite division always takes it up another notch. You know, we see small variations between the other divisions, but every time when we get to the elites, they just create a monstrosity of something that is just designed to be really difficult for everyone except for these incredible elite athletes. So 3:15 on the clock is still going to be the time that they have. So I don't know if they'll be too pushed for time, as we haven't seen it being a problem in other divisions, but they're going to be still definitely pushed on the technicalities of this course.
It'll be a lot of fun to watch. We're going to get that started any minute now. We also heard before we went live that the second spinner on double spinner near the end of the course has been raised, so you're going to have to do a kip up to that. That's going to be quite difficult. And I'm selfishly hoping that they decide to put in the 19-foot wall as the last obstacle, but I don't think they did.
I think that would be a bit brutal, considering we saw one of the competitors struggle on the 15-foot wall. But who knows? Who knows what they'll have in store for these elite division competitors?
It's Premier Series. It's supposed to be the hardest of the hard.
Oh, absolutely. And we've seen, even in the amateur division before, that some people have flown through the entire course and come unstuck on that warped wall. As we now move into our first elite female competitor, Gianna Webb, she will be first up on this challenge course for all the marbles. She will need to complete the first 3 obstacles, which has now been made extremely difficult for these elite level competitors. Can she complete them and find her spot in this Premier Series finals?
Let's see, we've removed a step there on what is now the quad steps, I guess quintuple by Japanese standards. We know Dion is a big Sasuke fan. He's wearing the Sasuke shirt today, but unfortunately Gianna is out on the drop slider, using up the first of her 2 retries. But remember, you can't use both retries on the same obstacle. So we could see her go out right here if she's not able to beat this on the second attempt.
Yeah, from this drop slider, you then have to grab the middle ring, which is quite tough of an ask here because you have so much momentum. Gets it the second time.
But only one shot at the holds here at the end of the drop slider. Thankfully, moving through those pretty well. You do get to grab the top of these ledges and reels it in. Sigh of relief. She's moving on to the fly lâché.
Okay, this is where we get into the serious business here, Alex. This is a tough one. Not only is this an extremely distant lâché, but it's still a difficult grab in general. She's really got to have that momentum there. Gianna's going to use her second and final attempt there.
She's got to kick a lot harder. She's kind of locking off with her arms, and that kind of stalls your momentum. You probably want to be a little bit more relaxed. Needs a way bigger kick. You want to kick up and out here. Oh, she almost had it, actually.
Just not quite grabbing it at the right point. Smiles all around from Dion, and Gianna Webb just maybe not quite getting as far as she would have hoped there. Unfortunately, she will not have secured her spot in the Premier Series finals. And we can see here, whilst throwing down a very valiant run, it just came unstuck there on that final obstacle. It is a huge lâché for our competitors.
And I know a lot of these athletes are a lot more familiar with the OCR style, where you don't need to do nearly as explosive movements. You rely a lot more on balance and just raw upper body strength to maneuver through holds and such. So these more technical obstacles for the athletes that are more used to OCR are going to be quite the challenge, as we see Rebecca Neal up next.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Alex. You are.
Oh my goodness! Okay, she's going to need to slow it down there a little bit on the steps, using up her first retry on the first obstacle.
We do not want to see Rebecca Neal come out here. Hopefully, she can get through on her second go here.
Now, I think hands are allowed on this obstacle. She didn't use them. Oh my goodness, Rebecca Neal's out on the very first obstacle. That is heartbreaking.
It's tough to see a ninja come out on the quintuple steps. It's just not the place you want to come out. But she has a smile on her face. Becky can be well happy. At least she kept a good attitude despite the upset there.
Heartbreaking, getting some consolation from her fellow competitors. So already we have seen that the first two women were unable to complete that minimum work requirement. So if you're Shyla Duhaney, this is not what you want to see.
That's absolutely right. Shyla's going to have her work cut out for her 34 from Berkshire in the UK. Let's see how she fares. Moving through the quintuple steps, no problems there.
And I like the three-footed technique. That's what you want to do for some of those longer strides if you don't think you can make them with one step.
Shyla had a
definitely
great
veteran
run.
maneuver by Shyla.
Yeah,
Trying to make her way through. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, she had a great run in the placement course, showed a great deal of strength, and is now moving through this drop slider and hang alley, and is looking good. But this is where it all really matters, Alex. The fly lâché, this is a giant leap for these ninjas.
Gets the jump off the trampoline, and she's got a lot better kick. This is exactly what we want to see. Good.
No.
Maybe a little bit early of a release there. Maybe needed a little bit more kick, but she had the right idea.
This fly lâché is proving to be difficult here. She needs to complete this third obstacle, her second and final attempt on this obstacle here. Alex, if she can't do this, she will not move on. But we have our fingers crossed here as she lines up the second attempt on this lâché.
This is looking much
momentum.
better. It's a good release point. There it is, but not able to hang on with the fingertips. And Shyla's eliminated too. This is turning disastrous.
This third obstacle is proving to be difficult for these elite females, as Bethany Lodge is going to be our final elite female stepping up onto this course. Shyla, unfortunately, while showing so much strength in those first two obstacles, just couldn't make that third grab.
And if I'm not mistaken, that looks a little bit longer than it's been in the past. I'm not 100% sure if they moved that back or not. But
I was having a similar thought, and I'm not too sure based on what we can observe.
We will get that double checked down on the floor. But in the meantime, it is Beth Lodge. And after seeing her compatriots go out on that third obstacle, she's got to be at least a little nervous, but she has taken on some of the toughest course. Okay, she's good.
That had my heart stop there for a moment.
Nice camera angle, Greg.
Ooh.
In all seriousness, she is onto the drop slider, hanging on for the drop, and moving very smoothly across these holds. Okay, we are being told it's the same distance on those flywheels. But in the meantime, Beth Lodge about to take on this lâché that none of her fellow elite female competitors could do. Looking to
Now
be the first, and there's still more after it.
Absolutely, but Beth Lodge can get this done, and she does. So smooth. Now onto the... It doesn't end here. We ask more of these elite division competitors as they go for the second grab.
Very good, and now just the squirrel. She's got it. The dismount platform in sight. And Beth Lodge wins Premier Series at True Function. She's ecstatic, but there's more to be done.
That's absolutely right, and we're going to see her in the Premier Series finals in November, which is really exciting to see. But now, yes, as you have just mentioned, she's going to be continuing her work. Fifth obstacle now, 4 to go. Now coming on to Globe Grasper. Let's see how she goes and which technique she takes.
Now going for the multi-bar technique. Very good.
Yeah, this is definitely the more efficient approach if you can manage it. And it looks like Beth is doing well so far on this obstacle. As we now come into pole grasper, this is a tough one, to be truthful, Alex. People were slipping left, right, and center in previous divisions, and let's see how Beth holds up.
But she doesn't need to rush either. She should have enough time to beat the rest of this course, and she doesn't have anyone coming up after her. She's already clinched first place. I was going to say she can use her feet if she wants to, but she doesn't want to. She's going right across and finishes.
There is a rule for the elites and for many of these divisions that they're not allowed to use their feet as a matter of fact. So all upper body.
Good catch.
But now this is going to be our chance to look at the new and improved double spinner There is going to be an upward lâcher that adds to the difficulty of it. These discs spin like crazy.
She catches the
Beth
front.
gets the first grab.
But now needs to get out of there. Would have liked to see a wide grab, but she's through. 33 seconds. Unlike the placement course, she's got loads of time to beat this 15-foot wall.
Absolutely. But can she get up there?
She
yes,
does.
she can.
Beth Lodge
20
is
seconds.
going to get the buzzer.
Amazing. With a
Incredible.
254.
If I'm not mistaken, that is the first buzzer all season in the elite female division.
Well, that is a phenomenal statistic. Beth Lodge can hold her head high and take that with her into the Premier Series final, celebrating with one of our course designers. What a phenomenal run.
Incredible stuff. Beth Lodge winning
What a run.
Premier Series at Ferox with one of the highlight runs of the season.
Absolutely. Phenomenal run there, just all round. You know, she has such an incredible reputation in this community. She's known as being one of the best elite females in the world at the moment, and she's proving why by hitting a buzzer. Just a phenomenal, phenomenal effort. We're going to get to take a look at another look at this incredible run here.
This was the big one here, the third obstacle. No other woman was able to complete it, but she was able to, and perfection all across this course. The first to beat the new incarnation of the double spinner as well, and she just missed out on the, she had that dive, just not in time on the placement course. It was well in time on the challenge course, and she finishes in 2:54. Well done to Beth Lodge.
And Beth will be the only individual here today from the elite females that will be joining us in the Premier Series finals in November, which is really exciting to see. But of course, all the elite females did phenomenal. And now, Alex, I'm really excited to see this competitor step up to the plate. From Germany, he came out a little bit early on the placement course, but is looking to rectify his situation. Ollie Yannick is, of course, one of the most phenomenal competitors, and he knows how to go fast. We saw him do the first 4 obstacles on the placement course in 9 seconds flat, so he's going to be one to watch.
Yeah, we only saw him for about 10 seconds on the placement course, as you said, as he
Luckily, we're
rushed
seeing
that
him
5th
more
obstacle
now.
and fell. He's definitely shown the explosiveness necessary to do fly lâcher, and already he's doing links.
We love to see this coming out of one of our German competitors here. Hopefully we can have Germany in the
Oh, look at
lineup
that!
for-
Great move, not even linking, just kind of throwing, and I thought he was getting ready for the next obstacle. He had already done it.
Where has this man come from, to be truthful? This is incredible what we are witnessing right now. Not only was he a competitor that we didn't necessarily name in the lineup, but he is moving faster than we have seen anyone all weekend so far.
Well, I mean, the technical answer is Berlin, Germany, but I don't think that's the answer you wanted.
He is a just incredible athlete here. 2:08 on the clock with the toughest course we have seen all weekend, and potentially still the fastest time that we have seen so far. He is gearing up on this 15-foot warped wall and throwing down a phenomenal time,
gosh.
Alex. of
119. That is the kind of competition we're going to see here. It is going to be fast and furious. Incredible stuff from Oli, laying down the gauntlet. And the scary thing is, that might not even be good enough for top 4.
That is a scary prospect to me, but in my view, that was a phenomenal run. He
Oh,
is
absolutely.
so quick. So quick. That perfect links all around. So much efficiency all throughout. You can see him just using every single moment to its fullest advantage. He had a little bit of inefficiency throughout the run, but his speed is something that's just phenomenal as an athlete.
I do want to issue a correction that I said during Beth's run. Madeline Medeiros also hit a buzzer at Ferox. I had some runs mixed up from Ferox. That was quite some time ago, so I hope you'll forgive me. Hard to believe that was 3 months ago already. And we're going to be back there in a month, hopefully with Beth Lodge and Madeline Medeiros in attendance. But in the meantime, we have some business to take care of here in the UK. Alexandre Kaleka just saw what his German compatriot did, and he's looking to represent France with the buzzer here in the Elite Division.
Wow, these elites do not know how to slow down here. Alexandra came out early as well on the placement course, but is now moving through this challenge course with a sense of urgency. He knows that if he wants to get into that top 4, he's going to have to throw down a phenomenal run here, going for that backswing.
And what worries me about Alex is that he was unable to complete the 15-foot warped wall in the placement course, and that's the last obstacle again of this course.
Well, hopefully we see him to that obstacle here as he's moving through the flying squirrel, decides to grab it here. A little bit behind what we just saw from Ole, but now moving through with still a really strong pace, perhaps getting a little bit tired now as he comes into the globe grasper.
Great cross arm technique. He is through as he moves on to the pole grasper.
Yeah, just so much strength in these individuals here. These elite males just know how to go. And Alexandra is
Ooh, careful!
go. Oh!
I don't think he crossed the plane. He's got to do it again.
He does. And you could just see the frustration in his face there.
Clock does stop while the obstacle is being reset. Starts again, a minute 52 to go. And he is through. Onto the double spinner.
Gearing up here. He still has the potential to complete this course. And now just lining up the dismount here on this double spinner.
Got it. Well, this is the scene of the crime, the 15-foot warped wall. Now, retries not in play here, as technically he has as many tries as he likes, at least as far as I'm aware. Because there's not really a out-of-play element on this obstacle.
The question is, does he need them as he goes for his first attempt and he gets it?
He took a moment to rest. Apparently that's what he needed, and he motored right up that wall. 204.
Yeah, he can be happy with that run. He's got a smile on his face. He rectified his mistakes from the placement course, and he can go join his France compatriots there, just showing up in full strength here at this gym here today. A phenomenal run all round. Started off with great pace, but perhaps just had a few inefficiencies that didn't put him on that elite level pace that we were perhaps looking for here. Just that small slip up there might have cost him that little bit of time.
Thankfully, it wasn't too costly of a mistake. You do obviously have 2 retries, as we mentioned. Took a deep breath before the warp wall, able to fly right up it. And Alexandre Kaleka hits the buzzer, but is going to have to sit and wait to see if that run's going to be good enough.
Yeah, and with five phenomenal competitors to go, it's going to be hard to say whether or not that run will hold up. We will next be moving into Aaron Poulin. And then, of course, when you look at the last 3 in this lineup, it's hard to think that they won't be securing top 4 spots.
Well, Aaron Poulin was the slowest clear of the 5 on the placement course. He definitely took a slow and steady approach. I don't think he can really take that again here if he wants to get top 4.
Yeah, I think he knows that, and he's moving through well so far.
Exactly right. He's going to skip that last hold onto the fly lâché.
Again, taking a bit of time here, Alex, to line everything up. And he's got that first link, and he's going to take another backswing there.
That's fine. He doesn't make the catch of the second X.
And he made
that's the first.
Yeah.
That's the first out on the X's today. We saw several competitors out on the flywheels, both in the elite women's division and in some of the earlier divisions. But Aaron failing the new back half of this obstacle. He uses one of his retries. He can't use another on this obstacle, but if he beats it, he still has one more he can use.
That's absolutely right. And it is a bit of a time cost to have gone so far through the obstacle just to come unstuck at the end here. lining up the second X. This is what he came unstuck on just before. He gets it now.
On to the squirrel. Has the dismount, and he's through. So he gets the work requirement done. But he has a lot more work to do through Shuriken Flip.
Absolutely. 150 on the clock here. He's still got 4 obstacles to go, arguably 4 of the toughest ones, as he moves into Globe Grasper. This one should be his bread and butter. He's looking strong here as he just brisks his way through. Not with necessarily a great sense of urgency, but he has strong technique here, and he's moving through well.
Grabbing low on these poles, as one needs to do. That is a hands-only obstacle for this division, as I was corrected earlier. And he is on double spinner. And he also makes that kip up.
Now looking for the dismount.
He's got it.
1 minute on the clock. He's got a minute to beat this wall. He's definitely tall enough. Does he have it left in the tank? Yes, he does.
Beat it in the placement course, beats it in the challenge course, and a time of about 2:30. Oh, excuse me, 2:18. Aaron Poland is our 4th consecutive athlete across the 2 elite divisions to hit a buzzer.
Absolutely. Aaron can be very proud of that run, and it's hard to say whether or not that will hold him into a top 4 spot, unfortunately, with just the stacked lineup that is yet to come. But still, he got that buzzer, and he can be happy.
4 consecutive clears
just
in this course. You can start to get the feeling that these last 4 athletes are going to be flying through this course. We'll see if that causes them to make mistakes and maybe let some of these first 3 in, or if they now know that they are going to have to fly and then just they're up to the task and do it. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we can just see a complete wave of completion, something that we're not necessarily familiar with from previous Premier Series competitions, but it's a great twist up. We can see Ole Yannick still with the 119, 40 seconds behind, in front of the next nearest competitor. So just all around displaying how dominant that run was. Now we've got Nicholas Underwood. He was a really strong competitor in that placement course. Was both fast and smooth. So we'll see how this is going to work out for him now.
If I'm not mistaken, he had a bit of a bobble on the floating boards, and that cost him a little bit of time. We'll see if, with this additional time, if he is able to be a little bit more steady. Ooh, that was a little bit worrisome.
And it looks like he's going to save a little bit of time there, though. It did look a bit messy, but it's still going to...
Oh, he tried to no backswing the flywheels, and he's going to have to take a second attempt.
That is phenomenal that he even went for that. To be truthful, that is such a far distance to be able to try and no swing. But Nicholas just showing us why he means business. I thought he was going to go for it again just then.
No, you can definitely go aggressive on a first attempt here. That's why we give you those retries for not only more technical obstacles, as he makes a great save on that X, but also so that you can go for a more aggressive strategy, because if you go for it and fail, you know, it's not like a flow course where you need to be really conservative. Here, you can go as aggressive as you want, and if you fail and you have a retry in the bank, you can just do it again.
Yeah, and he didn't lose too much time there. 2:18 on the clock coming into the last 4 obstacles. This still has potential to make a top 4 time here if he can execute well. And he's looking like he's got his eyes set on a completion here. He's gone back to being a little bit calmer now. And it looks like he went the wrong direction a little bit.
We've mentioned that's happened to a couple athletes so far. In these gym competitions, there's so many obstacles, you just get a little too overwhelmed, and sometimes you get a little lost. That's okay.
All right.
On to the double spinner. Oh, he skipped, and it worked! That is a beta break for our last 3 competitors. Nicholas Underwood looks like he's going to beat the course. He does, but not as fast as Ole Yannick, who has now punched his spot in Brooklyn.
Well, and a well-deserved spot in Brooklyn. But yeah, Nicholas Underwood surprised us. He made that mistake in the initial stages. He went for a courageous attempt to completely just redefine that lache, but we also have now seen him redefine that double spinner. So I think we're going to see the other competitors follow suit.
So Nicholas beating both the placement and challenge courses. We'll have to see if that holds up. He's currently in second place, but with 3 runners to go and 3 very talented runners to go, you've got to think something's going to happen to one of those 3 to sneak into Brooklyn.
Exactly right. Nicholas is going to have to hold on to that spot, and only time's going to tell if he can keep it. But I love that innovation there. I love how he wasn't afraid to throw down new innovative techniques that haven't been used all weekend, but he's showing that they're possible.
So there is the current leaderboard. 4 competitors, 4 buzzers.
Absolutely right. And we can see that Nicholas Underwood is going to be the time to beat. He's the one that is mostly going to be observed for being on the bubble, hypothetically, based on the last 3 competitors we have. They will have to make significant slip-ups in order to afford Nicholas Underwood his spot in this Premier Series finals, because they are 3 of the strongest UK and European competitors. So we will see how they go.
We have been hyping up this next run all weekend long. Hollis Lansford, 16 years old, competed at the Tier 1 Championships 4 months ago now. Where's the time gone? 4 months
Exactly
ago
right.
in Greensboro. So he has competed on an American stage before. Definitely keeps in touch with some of those American athletes, if I'm not mistaken. And we saw from his intro clip with the Batarang, he is up to the task with some of these newer obstacles. So if he does qualify for Brooklyn, he is definitely going to be a force to watch. Although I do want to quickly mention his shirt there, Extreme Ninja. So that is a competition out in Switzerland that Hollis competed in. It takes place under a bridge about 200 feet off the ground. You're attached to a bungee cord, and if you fail an obstacle, well, there's only one way to go, and that's down. So I think you can do the
That
math
is
there.
so cool.
It was so much fun to watch. I'm going to level with you. We were cutting in and out of WNL meetings to try to watch him. We're like, oh boy, so-and-so's coming up. I believe Joe Meisner won that competition, actually.
Oh, what an awesome concept there. And we can see Hollis Lansford. He doesn't have his just eyes set on a top 4 spot. He's got his eyes set on the top time here today. He wants to take out this Premier Series competition.
Actually, if anything, he's going a little bit slower than Ole. Does skip the flying squirrel. You don't have to use every element in the World Ninja League, and he is well aware of that, using that to his advantage. Coming back to the Globe Grasper, a little bit of running in this course.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, Ole definitely just threw down a phenomenal time that is going to be difficult to beat here. Hollis now coming into pole grasper though, picking up that pace, getting into a rhythm here. Can he keep that going is the question. Yes, he can. And now,
see the skip. No, we're not. He's actually going to go for the second disc. And he makes the dismount. Is he going to have the top time? It looks like he's going to finish below Ole. Oh, he slipped on the wall.
Oh.
Hold on a second. Nicholas Underwood's run has just come back into play. Gets it on the second attempt. Hits the buzzer.
gonna be
What's
close.
his time? I think it's
129
I think I saw 129, which would put him into second place and clinching his spot in Brooklyn. Great run by Hollis, slipping there on the warped wall, using a little bit of extra time on the fly laches as well, and that cost him first place.
But regardless, he will be securing that top 4 spot, and we will be seeing him in the Premier Series finals with Ole so far. And we've still got 2 more spots to award, and continuing to put Nicholas on the bubble, as whether or not he'll be able to hold that will be the question as we look at the results. Once again, Nicholas Underwood's time, which was phenomenal, a 142, is starting to be pushed down the ranks as we come into our last 2 competitors, who are arguably 2 of the biggest and most feared competitors here. Of course, with Victor Mikhailov, one we've been hyping up all weekend. He's a phenomenal athlete, both in technique and in speed. And he's going to
nice
put both
technique
of those, yeah, just as I said. He's got great technique, and he's going to just fly through this course.
What's the opposite of a commentator's jinx? Because he just did it there. He's going to skip the holds entirely, just using the ropes. Great speed out of Victor. And he was trying something there. He's trying some kind of linking strategy on this flywheel. It really didn't cost him much time, so that's fine.
Yeah, only
the
a
bad news is
second
that
or
he has
two
to
there.
beat this in one go, but I think he can.
Yeah, this should be in his arsenal of things he is capable of doing as he goes for the second last J. Now just has to get the dismount from the...
So he's going to skip it, in fact, and he does. Onto the shuriken flip. Everybody who's attempted that obstacle has beaten it so far, but it looks a little tricky. It looks fun. I'm going to set that up at the gym, maybe.
Absolutely, and now Victor is starting to pick up the pace. He's finding his stride here on the Globe Graspers. Now coming into home territory here, Pole Graspers. He should be familiar with this. It's a staple in traditional Ninja Warrior, and now looking so strong here.
The bad news for Victor as he skips the second disc is that he's really got to move, or else Nicholas Underwood's time comes back into play. He does get up the wall in enough time. I don't think that's faster than Oli's run. It is not. 1:23. He's wedged between Oli and Hollis. He's in second place and clinches his spot in Brooklyn.
Yeah, Victor Mikhailov, we're going to be seeing a bunch more of him in the Premier Series finals in Brooklyn. That's going to be really exciting. And I think this just comes back to how phenomenal the run was that Ole put down for us. It just all round, it's such a dominant run that these competitors just can't seem to keep up with at the moment.
It's really wild, and we mentioned sometimes, finishing, going out early on the placement course isn't the end of the world because you can come back on the challenge course. We've seen a couple examples of that so far. Charlie Ball at Ferox is the one we generally use, but in the elite division, to go from last to first is very unprecedented. And unless Thomas Matthews can take down that time by Oleanic, and apparently those two were the ones we should have had on the graphic, although with all due respect to Hollis and Victor, who are two incredible athletes who have clinched their spot, so we weren't too far off. Ole and Thomas are going to be the two athletes that can win this competition. Thomas Matthews looking to walk it off. Oleanic has done what he can to go from the first run to first place. And here goes Thomas.
Thomas was the first place seeded competitor in... Oh, this is looking good.
Yeah, that was an interesting strategy. Really not swinging, just kind of trying to motor through. Grabbing kind of low there on the flywheel. Going to have to take a backswing close there. Links, is he going to link anymore? He's not. Probably for the best as he is through. Skips the flying squirrel onto the shuriken flip. Through that as well.
Yeah, he's going for that top time. And you can see here, Thomas Matthews, he was the fastest in our placement course. And now in this challenge course is on track to be our fastest competitor so far. It's going to be close between him and Ole Yannick. Either or could take out this title.
No blemishes so far. Onto the double spinner. What is he going to do? He's going to use that red disc, but he is caught up now. He is caught up, and this could be troublesome. He gets out of it. That was close. That might need to be reviewed. But for the time being, he just grabs it, pulls himself over, and if that result holds, Thomas Matthews has won Premier Series at True Function.
What a phenomenal run. He is gassed, and you can see him there just lying down. But he's got a smile on his face. He's happy with what he's just done. I believe his footing was there, so I think it will be counted, subject to maybe a little bit of a review. But top-seeded competitor in this competition, now showing us why he is a beast and a force to be reckoned with. And we're going to see him at Premier Series finals as well.
I certainly hope he makes the trip over to Brooklyn. That was a spectacular run, unblemished all day. And we will see him, Oleanic, Victor Mikhailov, and Hollis Lansford claim the 4 spots. all due respect to Nicholas, Alex, and Aaron, who were unable
Absolutely.
to get those spots despite hitting the buzzer.
Yeah, and especially for Nicholas, who really put down a great run and just came short at the end of the day. He, in any other division, would have qualified, but unfortunately, in this elite context, it does demand a higher level of athleticism, and these individuals just showed up in full force, and now we have our top four, who are all going to be great competitors in the elite division of the Premier Series finals. It's incredibly exciting.
Great run by all of these competitors. We ended on a spectacular note. 8 clears in a row.
Yeah, that's a Premier Series first in my books. It's a first in most qualifiers, to be truthful. And when you think about it, the slowest time was 2:18 for a finish, even though the time allocated was 3:15. So these elites absolutely dominated this course.
Tremendous stuff. I'd like to take one more look at Oli's run if we can, because he
We
had,
have to.
one of the best runs of the season. No one behind, or excuse me, he had no one else on the leaderboard when he ran. So essentially coming into this course blind in terms of what he would need to do, and so he just decided to turn it up to 11 and fly through this course.
Yeah, no, that was a well-deserved second place spot. Just all round, both power, efficiency, and strength, representing Germany, which is really exciting to have in the mix here in the Premier Series finals. And I'm hoping that he makes the trip out to Brooklyn.
So many great ninjas over there in Germany. They have a tremendously thriving scene. And hopefully, if he makes a trip, he can represent Germany on the world stage with pride.
That's absolutely right. And I think it might just be worth taking a look one more time at Nicholas Underwood's run. I mean, he didn't quite make the cut, but I still think it's one worth noting because great display of technique and strength, and just coming short there in the end.
Yeah, that was a tough break for Nicholas.
He's definitely going to be one to watch in future competitions. He wasn't afraid to take a chance, and I loved his first attempt on this lache where he just went for it. He would have looked like an absolute legend if he managed to connect there, but unfortunately he just couldn't. Even with the one-arm save there, you've got to take your hat off to this man.
Yeah, and if he would have made that, he wouldn't have had to do the slower second attempt, and maybe that would have been good enough to bump out Hollis.
It could have been, and either way he would have looked like a genius, and I'm sure other people would have tried to have mimicked it.
Fair point, and they might not have been able to do it. We'll never know, though. Nicholas Underwood with a strong run, and before we sign off, we absolutely must watch Beth Lodge's run once again. The second elite female buzzer of the Premier Series, along with Madeline Medeiros at Ferox. And
Absolutely.
It was a run to behold.
And it's going to be really exciting to see Beth taking it out against the other top elite female athletes in the Premier Series finals. It's just truthfully going to be one to watch. There's no other way to put it. You can see here she was strong, she was calm and collected, and she's one of the best in the world for a reason.
Definitely proved it here. Great awareness, perseverance. Any other adjectives you can think of?
just incredible.
We saw that dive twice out of Beth. One of those laydowns was in defeat. The other was in victory.
That's absolutely right,
Tremendous run by Beth. And I think we owe it to... Actually, I take that back. We're going to talk about Premier Series finals. We've seen Beth qualify along with 4 of the elite men to the Premier Series finals, and the field is now officially set.
That is exactly right, Alex. I mean, November 17th to 19th, this is going to be one of the best things that the World Ninja League has ever brought us so far. This is going to be one to watch. There's no other way to put it. The best 32 athletes across all the different divisions, across all the different genders, coming together in a single place for 3 days to battle it out. What more could you ask for?
You can't ask for much more than that, that's for sure. Starting a new tradition of Premier Series finals. Hopefully, this is something that will continue to grow, just like our Tier 1 and Tier 2 championships, as a product for the best of the best from around the world to showcase their stuff on both the placement and challenge course. Format will be the same, but I mean, we've seen some tough courses all season long, and you can bet that Zach Eichenstein is going to take having 12 clears in his first go a little personally, especially with an even stronger field coming up in the Premier Series finals.
Oh yeah, it's going to be the toughest course I think we've ever seen, period. So it's going to be really exciting to see how these ninjas fare. And Alex, I genuinely think that does me. I'm very content, and I'm super excited to see where this Premier Series finals takes us.
Well, Jack, thank you as always for stepping in all season long. Everybody in chat, can we give it up for Jack, who steps in overnight? You know, these are really tough hours for Jack, being, it's what, 3 a.m. over there? And I know this is when you usually start, so... I mean, Jack is just an absolute legend coming in on commentary, and we appreciate all you've done this season.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be here to commentate some of the best runs that we've seen.
Well, the qualifier season is done. Only one stop left, and there's no stops until Brooklyn. For Kane Casillas and Jack Anderson, and Billy Dixon, that's right. I was like, wait a minute, we didn't have Mary this week, but we will have Mary at the Premier Series finals, of course. And especially our thanks to Billy for hopping in on Saturday and then competing here on Sunday. But for Kane, Billy, and Jack, I'm Alex Cunningham, wishing you good night from jolly old England.